Hi, kids. Here we go. We are doing the B cup. Here we go. Hi, kids. The internet can totally see me now. Hi, kids. How are you? Good morning. It is September 12th. Wow, it's September already. That's not what I want to do. Shit. Sorry. Grandpa's still a little bit asleep, like always. These late nights are killing me. So anyway, kids, let's talk about opinions today. And you can also check out my Facebook streaming, because I'm streaming on Facebook now too. So, hi, my friend. How are you? Lauren, good morning. Thanks for joining us on Facebook. Thanks for joining us on... Oh, Grandpa's scruffy this morning. I think it's time for me to shave. So I hate shaving. It's one of the worst parts of transitioning, I think, is all the hair in my ears, all the hair in my nose. Why am I talking about that right now? It's kind of gross. Hi, Allison. Good morning, my friend. Today we're going to discuss what happened yesterday. If you were around, first let me have another sip of my second coffee. I have a lot going on. Good morning, Mario. Good morning, Ruth. Good morning, people. It's nice to see you all here. Thanks for showing up. And here comes Obama, the kitty of the property where I live. It's like cool little bungalows. Good morning, Val. Obama, the cat's name that runs around the neighborhood here. His name is Obama. Good morning, Rachel. It's nice to see you. Yes, Rachel is our admin, and here's Ty, another admin. So they seem to be on YouTube watching for the crazy trolls. Watch for those trolls, kids. We had some trolls yesterday. Good morning, Charlie. It's nice to see you. Okay, let's see over here on Facebook. This is the hard part. Hi, Patrick. Hi, Libby. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Halden. Good morning. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Soya. Hi, Val. Good morning. Oh, the volume is low. Maybe it's my voice. I don't know why the volume is low. Try to put it up again. I'll speak up a little bit. Actually, you know what else I'll do? I'll turn off my fan. Maybe that's causing some problems with the audio. So, I want to talk to you guys about yesterday. If you were around yesterday for our show, all admin in the house. Yay. Let's do this, kids. Good morning, Darla and Ben and Stay and Regilio. Good morning. So, does everybody have their coffee? Does everybody have their coffee? And you know, the B cups are now available. I put them up. So if you want to drink a B cup with me, go right ahead. Oh, it's the best. You guys miss my foam? Lately, my almond milk hasn't really been foaming up much. Good morning, Clara. I'm coming to London soon. I'll be in London soon. So, if you guys were around yesterday, if you noticed, we had a little bit of an interaction. Good morning, Katie. We're going to talk about our interaction yesterday. Thank you, Diana. You know, that's why I want to talk about it, Diana. That's why I want to talk about it. You can get, Regilio, you can get this cup on buckangel.com in the shop. Listen, yesterday we had a couple people come on here who were very opinionated about my opinion about triggers and PTSD. It's a very important subject that we talk about because our community is completely inundated with triggers and PTSD. It's a real thing. Please don't think that I'm insensitive to PTSD and triggers. Please don't think that. I am not insensitive. I am very sensitive to it. I am very sensitive to why we have them. I am very sensitive to how many people have them. Good morning, Logan. I am very sensitive about it. It is why I talk about it. If I wasn't sensitive about it, I wouldn't give a shit and we wouldn't have it on the show every day. We talk about triggers almost daily, do we not? Do we not talk about triggers almost daily? Do we talk mostly we talk about why do we have triggers, and mostly we talk about how can we remove these triggers or learn how to live with them in a more not responsible, in a more way that creates a world that you are able to live in. So a lot of people in our community, good morning, David. Good morning. Diana says, if you hide them, you hide yourself from the world. This is exactly the point that I have been trying to make. And yesterday we got some people who are so thick in their idea of triggers, and they're so clearly they have a lot of triggers, and clearly they have PTSD, and clearly they feel that they define themselves through their triggers and their PTSD. Good morning, Allison. Any plans for Toronto yet, Buck? No, working on that, but not yet. So listen, we get back. So yesterday there were a couple, maybe 3 or so people who were very, 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 very stubborn, as far as I'm concerned, in their idea of my idea of triggers. And they were making accusations towards me that I'm not sensitive. Good morning, Stace. I'm very sensitive. I'm sensitive to a lot of things. I'm a very sensitive man. But here's what I'm going to tell you as an older transsexual man who has had triggers, who probably still does have triggers. I believe they hold you back. I believe we should learn to, how do we discuss triggers without people getting very upset about it and feeling that we're discounting them or that we're taking away their power of the trigger. It's a very important subject that we must continue to talk about. Good morning, Dom. My kid is in the house. Dino, good morning, Tommy from South Australia. So today we're talking again about triggers, and again about PTSD, and again about how do we understand these at such a level that we can start to help each other move through the pain. And I want to talk about this because yesterday some people came on with such opinions about it and were making accusations towards me that I am not sensitive about it and that I am giving misinformation about it. I am not giving misinformation about triggers. And if you believe I am, please set me straight and send me education about it. So when I ask you to set me straight and to send me information and you come back at me and tell me it's not your job to educate me, you're not making any sense. I'll tell you this. If I have an opinion about something and you disagree with me and I say, no, you're wrong, and you say, really? And I say, yeah, let me send you some links about CBD, about hemp CBD. Let me show you. Let me educate you about it. That's my job, to educate you if I feel that you don't understand what I'm saying. Am I right? Of course I am. That's just basic logic. That's logic. If you don't believe what I believe, but I'm very strongly opinionated about my belief, it is my job to educate you. Yet that person would not educate me, and they told me that it was not their job to educate me, that I should be. This is the kind of bullshit that I fucking hate in this community. Don't come after somebody and tell them that their opinion doesn't count or that they're not real, and then not take the opportunity to educate them. What are you talking about? Yeah, so do you guys understand? It is very personal, Clara. Very personal, Clara. That's a great statement that you said. Triggers are personal. I guess it's so hard, yes, to comment on. You can comment on it. You probably have. You probably have triggers. But you might not know about it, right? You probably have triggers. So what? What do we do, kids? What do we do, kids, to continue to move forward? What do we do, kids, to continue to help each other move through the pain of triggers? They are real. Listen to me. I'm going to say it right. I'm even taking my hat off. I'm even taking my hat off to make this serious statement here to you. Okay? Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at me. I look so sleepy. Listen. Triggers are real. I 100% know they're real. I believe they're real. I believe they are so incredibly debilitating. I believe they can ruin your life. I believe they can just take you out. I was there. I am speaking from experience. I'm not speaking out of my asshole. I am telling you right now, they are real, they are debilitating, they will ruin your life, they will keep you down, they will keep you so fucked up, you won't even know what's up and what's down. You will not want to participate in life. That is a true, real statement from me to you. I believe it. But what I don't believe is this. I don't believe that they are the thing that should keep you down for the rest of your life. That's what I talk about here. How do we, as a community, come together and help each other to understand triggers and PTSD as a thing that we must learn to remove or learn to live with in a manner that you can have a productive life? That is what I'm saying. So anybody who's misinterpreting what I do here and talk about as triggers is just having closed ears and closed eyes. They are not listening to me. I hope that you all understand what I'm saying. And now I'm going to move back for a moment, and I'm going to have a drink of my coffee, and I'm going to listen to you. And I'm going to read all of your comments about what I just said. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I say when I say it? Do you understand that we as the B Cup must have this discussion in order to move forward in our community? That's what I want to know. Virgilio says, it is my mom passed away almost 7 years ago and it still triggers the pain. I'm so sorry, my beautiful friend. But look at you talking about it. That is what I'm talking about. You want to talk about it. You don't want to live in that pain. You don't want to live in that pain, do you? It's horrible. It's horrible. I completely get you. My friend, I want to cry for you. Listen with an open heart, Andrea says. Jerry says, face them head on, continue to talk about them, and take the power out of them. Lady Cat says, listen, understand, and explain. I was triggered at a show not too long ago. I had to run out of the building, and no one could touch me. My friends knew to stay away from me and not touch me. And you were triggered. And that is a horrible thing to happen, but it happens. Xavier says, isn't the purpose of therapy having people become able? Yes, and why I'm a believer of mental health. Why are we not talking about that? Clara says, you're so right. I have triggers and they have ruined my life. I'm okay to share it with the world because it's how it is. I lost 2 of my friends this year to suicide. All little things that we experience trigger me. But it's not the end of me. It's still me. But there needs to be more understanding. Nan says, toughen up and stop being a victim. Nan, I wish it was that easy, but it's not. Not everyone is able to just pick themselves up. I come from this old school way of my old mentality. Pick yourself up. My dad was very rough. My dad was very rough as a child. Can you not tell? We weren't allowed to cry. When we cried, we were babies, our pussies, our little shits. We weren't allowed, we had to be so focused. We had to continue to go. You know, there was 3. I grew up with 2 older sister and a younger sister and me, the 3 girls. And my father really raised us very, very, very tough. My older sister, my younger sister are very tough women. They're very focused women. You know, and in a sense, you could say they were raised like men, you know, because that's how we raise men, but we don't raise women that way. So my sisters are very rough and tough, and, you know, we were raised with no sensitivity, 0. And tough love is what they used to call it. So I do come from a space of that's where I learned, pick yourself up and go. And that doesn't work for everybody. Not everybody is in that space to do that at all. At all. Julia says, part of the process of getting over something is being able to talk about it. I am massively triggered when I don't talk. Yes, 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 I believe that. Good morning, Finn. It's nice to see you. Rachel says, it is our responsibility to care for ourselves. We cannot blame other people for our triggers. It's called self-care. Beautiful statement, Rachel. And that's what we talk about here. We, I, you, us. If we really love each other, if we really care about each other, if we really are a family, we will teach each other how to move through the pain. We will teach each other because we are all at different levels in our growth right now. We are. Some of us are here. Some of us are here. Some of us are here, here, here. We must understand we are at different levels of growth. We are at different levels of understanding. We are at different levels. I have been transitioning for a long goddamn time. My level of transition is higher than most everyone here. It doesn't make me any better than you. It doesn't make me any worse than you. But what it does make me is more knowledgeable than you when it comes to certain aspects of transitioning. Whether you want to believe it or not, my experience as a 55-year-old transgender sexual man who has transitioned for 20 plus years, my experience is different than yours. My experience is experience over yours, whether you believe it or not. It doesn't make me any better and it doesn't make me any worse. It only gives me experience. You can take my experience, you can listen to my experience, or you don't have to take it. I don't really care either way. But I do care about you, and I do care about sharing my experience with you. You can take it or leave it. But stop insinuating or making accusations that we don't care if we talk about wanting to help and move forward because we believe in the B cup. Triggers are not going to be a positive part of your life. That's what we want to talk about here. Toughness is asking for help. Right on. 100%, Jerry. That's what I learned through my toughness. I'm tough. I'm that. I cry. I get sensitive. I feel so sensitive so many times in my life. I feel sensitive. And so I have to cry and I have to reach out. That's toughness. I relearned that. Stay says, toughen up is such an easy thing to say, but it really has no meaning. It has zero meaning. Stay. It has zero meaning. Nothing. I don't even believe that. I don't even believe that language at all. Logan, I get triggered when people say you should put on makeup. You should dress more pretty. Oh, I remember when people say that. They're not always being an asshole. No, I know. I still get that. You were a pretty lady. Why did you transition? Really? Because it's just that people don't know. It's just that people don't know, my friends. That's all. They just don't know. We must educate. We must educate. Bulawaf, what a very cool name. What age did you start? 28. I started at 28, really speaking to doctors and that. So I was very lucky. That was early in my sobriety. Andrea says, started my transition 10 months ago. Hands down, the most amazing and helpful experience I've ever gone through. Estrogen was the only thing that ever stopped me biting my nails. Congratulations. Xavier says, Buck, do you have an opinion on the non-binary gender dysphoria debate? Whew. Xavier says, Buck, do you have an opinion on the non-binary and gender dysphoria debate? Well, I'm not really sure. Could you fill me in? Does that mean like basically that gender doesn't exist anymore debate? Like gender is gone and that that identifying as binary is not good? Is that what you're talking about? Because I do have opinion about that. Finn says, allowing yourself to experience our emotional range is allowing ourselves to be human. My mom would abuse it if I cried and tell me, yes, I know. I know. Nan, don't worry. Thank you for apologizing, Nan. That says a lot about you. Nan says, poor choice of yours. I want people to survive. Thank you, Nan. But see, we just educated you, Nan. And that's what I love about the people that come here. That is what I love. You are willing to say, oh, okay, actually, I used the wrong words. I apologize. That's fucking growth. That is growth. We just acted like adults. Do you see that? We just acted like fucking adults. We all said, Nan, that's not appropriate. We don't really like that kind of language here. Like, it isn't about that. And you came around, Nan, and you said, you're right. Wow. We just had an adult discussion in a community forum on Facebook and YouTube and the internet. How amazing and beautiful was that? We must pat ourselves. We must clap. That's beautiful behavior. And that's the behavior that we must have in our community. Opinions are okay. Opinions and dialogue are okay. What do we learn from that? We learn. We go. Yes, the hashtag of the day. Go team acting like adults. Discussion, opinions. You don't agree with me. I don't agree with you. We still love each other. We still love each other. I love you guys. It's so ridiculous. Logan says, speaking of crying, I just realized that I forgot to turn on my coffee maker. So it's I'm crying for you. That's making me cry. So, kids, I love you. I mean, how come we can do it? How come you and I can do this every day? Get into discussions, have debates, have dialogue, disagree, to come back the next morning and have another conversation. Why? I'll tell you why. I know 100% why. Because you are secure enough in your own opinions and your own dialogue to say, I could possibly be wrong, but I'm still going to talk about it because maybe I'm going to learn something today. That's why you come back, and that's why, because you're constantly being challenged here. We challenge each other. I come on this every day with the idea that I'm going to learn something from you every day. That's why I come on here. Every day I want you to challenge my opinions, because every day I walk away going, you know, I just learned something. I just learned something from X person, from this person, just from having dialogue with you. It also gives me hope for the community. People, Xavier says, Stacy says, we want the same thing. Xavier says, people get very angry, hateful about it on both sides. Good morning, Margaret. It's nice to see you from upstate New York. Of course they do. Stay says, Finn, letting out emotion is the best thing to do. Keeping it all, no. And that's why I cry. I can't. Diana says, open hearts and open minds. Philip says, I don't want to know what to think about the whole non-binary thing. I do feel that people do not. So here's the deal. From what I think that you're saying to me, Xavier, you're saying that there's this debate whether or not binary exists, and then there's this other debate that it doesn't exist and you can't do that. And, you know, I'm just going to tell you, stop debating people's identities. Just stop it. That's what I'm going to tell you. I don't even need to know about that debate or that thing. This is what I know as an old tranny, okay? As an old fucking tranny. This is what I know. Just stop it. My identity is not your identity. My tranny identity is not your tranny identity. It's something else. My identity as a trans man, transsexual male who likes to call himself a tranny and a faggot and all kinds of shit that I call myself, that's my identity that you can't take away. However you want to identify, and it's not in our community, it's in the world. Stop pigeonholing us in one community. We are people first. If your whole identity is surrounded by your gender, by your trans identity, by your cisgender identity, then you really need to sit down. Good morning, Tracy. You need to sit down for a minute and really rethink, what does that mean? You are being pigeonholed and pushed into these ideas of identity by your own community. The fact that we're even debating, we are actually debating identity. Are you kidding? Diana, I do have passion for what really, people. We are right now debating other people's identity. Who the fuck do we think we are? What has this community become? You have no right to in any way debate somebody's identity at all. Zero. 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 You have no right to do that. Finn says, Step, you missed the follow-up comment. I am empathetic. I allow my emotions to flourish. It was my mother growing up who felt that emotion was weakness. Yes, I know that. Beck, surely a diagnosis isn't necessary. If you break your leg, it's still a broken leg, whether or not a doctor diagnoses it. Not saying that they are similar. No. I really actually love your comment, Beck. But just stating the lack of need for a professional diagnosis. Right on, my friend. If I feel like no coffee triggers me, I know. I don't need you to tell me that. I don't need you to tell me that. No coffee, no espresso, no Nespresso pods triggers me. It triggers me 100%. I lose my mind. I'm so mad and angry that I don't have pods. It's true. So look, you guys. Here comes somebody. No, I thought it was Obama, but not. But listen, the idea that identity is part of something that other people can debate is not, in my book, not okay. Not okay. It's not going to happen. I'm going to talk about it every day. So when I tell you that, yes, you can be free of triggers in a way that, not necessarily free, but you can live with your trigger in a way that is an actually really positive way to move through the world. It's real. I'm telling you that. If you haven't experienced it. I'm only telling you again from my own experience, not from the fact that I know factually. I only know factually for me when I speak that. And whenever I say facts, okay, it's the facts that I know. It's my fact that I removed certain parts of triggers in my life that kept me from moving forward. He says if you cannot educate, then get educated. Being there and understanding one another is a huge key. Listening to someone and understanding them and their triggers can be such a powerful moment. Exactly. We all need to listen. Even as an educator. I don't consider myself an educator, but that said, I do. Educate me if I'm wrong. That's a good educator. And guess what educators also do? They make mistakes. And if you don't think educators don't make mistakes, you're not understanding what education is. Anybody in an environment that is publicly speaking will make mistakes. I have made mistakes. 100%. I will continue to make mistakes. 100%. But here's the thing. Educate me. Yesterday, for example, there was a guy on here named O'Neill, and I'm assuming that it was male, and I apologize if I'm misgendering, but I'm just making the assumption. And O'Neill has triggers. And O'Neill gets very upset at me because O'Neill feels that I'm not being sensitive about triggers when I am being very sensitive about triggers, just in my own sensitive way that I want to do it. So immediately O'Neill said that I'm not educated, that I'm giving misinformation, and that that's dangerous. And I said, okay, then if you think that, please send me something I can read and get up to speed about it. And O'Neill said to me, that's not my job to educate you. You should educate yourself. And I said, no, actually it is your job because it's what I believe right now. And if you're pointing me out and telling me I'm wrong, you need to prove it. So prove it to me. Give me some literature. Give me something to read and I'll read it and I'll tell you whether or not I still believe that or not. Wouldn't do it. Said it's not their job. I disagree with you. If you disagree with me on something I say, and you want to change my mind, change my mind. But show me how to change my mind and give me information that I can put into my little teeny pea brain and possibly flip my idea or even learn more. I love to learn new things. I love to be, okay, you're right. I totally fucked up. I'll be the first one to admit I fucked up. I'll be the first one. I have no ego. I don't need to be right all the time. Honestly, I'm not right all the time. I'm not. There's no way I'm right all the time. If I was, I wouldn't be here. I'd be there making $1 million fucking dollars if I was right all the time. People would come and pay me lots of money because they know you're right all the time. I would win a lot in gambling. So this is a ridiculous behavior to think that I'm not allowed to have an opinion that might be wrong, whatever that means. Facts are important. Nan says all debate must be factually backed. But the other thing is, all debate could also be factual in the fact that it is my experience. Trans isn't a thing, haha, what does that even mean? Exactly, people are identifying, but it's some people's identity. It is a thing for some people. It is. Stay says, Tracy says, I think we can all guide each other through the jungle called life. Stay says that the head teacher, British for principal, at a school I used to teach, used to say, I'm not head teacher, I'm head learner. Everyone, exactly. I am not a teacher, okay? I am just here. I am just here to give you my experience, to bring together a part of a community that I feel is broken. You are here because you believe what I am saying. Hi, Cambodia. Beautiful. Maybe I'm coming to Cambodia soon. I got booked, you guys. Guess what? I forgot to tell you the good news. In February, I'll be going to Beijing. From there, I'll be going to Singapore. From there, I'll be going to Hong Kong. And from after that, I might be going to Indonesia and possibly the Philippines. We're on, kids. So listen to me. Opinions are okay. I believe them. But facts are different than opinions. So if I'm not giving the right fact, you must educate me. Don't tell me it's not your job to educate me when you try to call me out. You must educate me then. You can't call somebody out. And that's all across the board. This calling each other out and then not having the strength to send somebody the education that you just called them out is ridiculous, stupid baby behavior. Don't call somebody out. Don't call somebody out and then not come back and say, yeah, and let me show you how come. That's ridiculous. Coffee time. So here, kids. Philip says, I know Rachel. Okay, they're that. Okay, you guys are having conversation between each other. Now, it's 9:15. I must go. I have a lot to do today. Lots happening. Let's go out in the world today, okay? Let's go out in the world today. Let's just go out in the world today. Xavier, why do you need to call out at all? Oh, that's a whole other discussion. That's a whole other discussion. You know how I feel about calling out. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. You know why I hate calling out? I'll tell you why. Because it feels ego-based. I don't like calling out because it feels ego-based. It feels like this person, that person, who wanted to call me out yesterday felt that they needed to do that in order to get attention. It didn't feel like they were calling me out because they really cared to call me out because I was not speaking about something properly. Because if you call somebody out and you really care to call somebody out, what do you do after you call them out? You send them a link to something they might have misquoted, and you say, look, maybe you should read this and get yourself up to speed. When they don't do that, they're calling out as attention getting. It's not because they want to help you. That's what I believe. I love you guys a lot. In closing, this is what I want to tell you, okay? Listen, you have to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you can't love other people. Other people can't love you. It's real. It's real. What happens when you love yourself is that people can't come. They can see up my nose and it doesn't look so great. All the hair. Listen, if you don't really come true to yourself, nobody else, people know you're fake. People know you're full of shit. That's what you're going to attract. Full of shit, fake fucking people. But if you're really fucking true to yourself here, you're not going to attract full of shit, fake fucking people. You're going to attract beautiful, amazing people like here in the B Cup. This is why you're here. This is why you are here. You are here because you know. You have been in and out of the disgusting, angry, mean community for too long now. And somehow you swam around and found your way into the B Cup. Because the B Cup is about creating a beautiful, strong environment for our community. Not bullshit, bullying, language policing, gatekeeping behavior that we have become. We have become something other than I refuse to be part of. And that is why you found the B Cup, because you too are sick and tired of the nonsense, childish behavior that has become the trans community. It is no longer a community of love, happiness, these fake hashtags. I watch these angry trans people putting trans is beautiful. Really? Really? You just said some real mean shit to your trans brother and you're using the hashtag trans is beautiful? This is the shit that I'm talking about. This fake environment that the transgender community has created with these fake hashtags that mean nothing. They're only fake fucking language. They're creating fake language. They're creating a fake environment, and it's all ego-based because this person wants to be more famous than that person, and this person has more followers than that person. That's what it's become. It hasn't become a community of how do we teach each other to love each other? How do we come back around? Nope, it's not that. That's what the B Cup has become. We've become a place where we can talk about this stuff without feeling angry or feeling jumped on or feeling, and check out the B Cup project. It's a very important project. We give back to our community. Mr. Nightwolf says, you're beautiful just the way you are. Remember that. You are sculpted perfectly. Just see yourself. You do not need the approval of one single person. Nobody. You do not need the approval of anyone in this community. You do not need the approval of anyone in your life. You only need to know your own path. And you only need to know that what you do is for you. That's all you need to do. okay? And if you're doing that, then you're on the right path. But if you're worried about what other community members are thinking about you, are saying about you, are poking at you, you are not on the right path. You are on a path of self-destruction, because those people do not have the right to say anything about your identity or who you are. Nobody does. Nobody does. Okay? Remember that. Nan says, I'm a lesbian feminist that loves the trans community, and we love you too, Nan. Thank you for joining us. We like everybody. This is not the B Cup is not about being trans. The B Cup is about being a fucking human. We want to reteach ourselves to become humans again. Your identity is second to a human being. Your identity shouldn't just be I'm a trans person. It should be I'm a person. And then you can tack on all the little other I'm trans, I'm gay, I'm straight, I'm cis. Those are all just extra things that you put on. Your first and foremost thing that you should wake up and put on every fucking day is your humanity. And if you're forgetting to put on your humanity, you're lost. You are lost. You are lost, my friend, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you're only identifying as a trans person, that doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why are you only taking on trans? And what does trans mean to you? What does it really mean to you? Is it something that you're picking up because it's what you saw? Is it a hashtag? Is it a hashtag? Is it a... No. Transgender, transsexual is a real thing. It is not a label. It has become a label. It has become Trans Inc. It has become a cult. It has become something other than what I'm telling you. You can take all of that on. It is your thing. I'm not telling you how to identify, but what I'm telling you is this. I have seen something different than what I believe transgender and transsexual is. It is part of your identity. It is not your whole identity. It can't be. And if it is, slow down. Slow down. Come back to being a human. You don't need all of those things. All of those, shut the drawers. Look, how about this example? We wear things. We wear hats. What if I took all of this off? What if I took off my shirt? What if I took off my mala beads? What if I took off everything? What's left here? A man. A human man. That's me. My hat didn't define me. My mala beads didn't define me. My shirt didn't define me. I'm just a man. And if I don't know that I'm just a man before I put on my labels, because these are all my labels, then I don't know anything. I don't know shit. You're forgetting your rawness. You're forgetting where you come from. You're forgetting. You are forgetting, or you are being taught. Or you are being taught by people who want to control you. You are being taught that your identity is everything to you. And it is not true, because once they take this identity from you, what are you now? What are you? Think about it. Think about it. What are you without it? That's a very, very, very important statement that I'm making to you right now. What are you without it? You better think about it all day long today, and you better sit with it. Don't get distracted. That is not why I took my shirt off. I took my shirt off to make a point to you. Do you understand my point? Jamie says, I've given up giving a rat's ass what others think. It's my life. I'm going to live it, and that's what I want you to do. Trans is a small part of who you are. Remove the labels. Remove the labels today. Look at yourself stripped naked without the labels. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Think about it. What are you going to do today? What are you going to do for you today? What are you going to do to create a world that's better than it was yesterday? What are you going to do to help people in our community who are suffering? What are you going to do for yourself? What are we going to do to move forward? What are we going to do to save the way we have become, which is egomaniac, narcissistic, crazy people. Just kidding. And I know crazy isn't the word, but you understand what I'm saying to you. Okay? I'm going to put my stuff back on, my mala beads. because I love you guys, and this is my identity. And I'm just kidding. This is my identity. Bolawas says, I'm a gay man that has been locked up just because of my sexual orientation, beaten, bullied, and now living in fear every day of my life. And to top it all, rejected by family member. Now it has to have me distracted and I can't concentrate. Do you know what it is like to be beating for what you do not know, my friend? I do not know. And if you could please send me a direct message after we get off here, I would love to speak to you more about that. Because that, my friend, is what I'm talking about. I live a beautiful life. I live a safe life here in Los Angeles. I've been very blessed. Then we have people in our community like Bolawath who just said he's a gay man who's been locked up, beaten, bullied, fucking has to live in fear his whole life. And we're talking about fucking tranny. And we're talking about the word tranny. And we're talking about whether or not you can identify binary. And we're talking whether or not you're problematic. Are you fucking kidding me? We have a community member here. A community member who lives in a place where he is being beat, tortured, bullied, in fear every day of his life, and our fucking privileged asses, the ones you know who you're talking about, are too worried about your goddamn transgender identity? Really? Really? I hope Bolowith being in this room today has created some kind of awareness for you that it is bigger than you. The world is bigger than you. The problems are bigger than you. And if you are only concerned with your own fucking identity, you need to slow down a bit. It is not just about you and me. It is about us. If you don't live comfortably, I don't live comfortably, Bolowith doesn't live comfortably, we don't all live comfortably. Because one of ours is still being tortured. One of our family members is being tortured right now, at this second, at this time, possibly being killed. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Love each other, people. Help each other. Care about each other. If you're in a position to give, you have to give. If you're in a position to need to take, you have to take. But you can't just give and you can't just take. You have to make a cycle. It's real. Love you guys. I love you on YouTube. Thank you for making an effort to show up every day. It means a lot to me. I'm going to let go of YouTube. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? I love you guys a lot. Have a beautiful, awesome day. And remember,